The Tale of Mr.Jeremy Fisher by Beatrix Potter. Once upon a time, there was a frog called Mr.Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little down house amongst the weathercocks at the edge of a pond. The water was all slippy-sloppy in the lander and in the back passage, but Mr. Jeremy liked getting his feet wet. Nobody ever scolded them, and he never caught a cold. He was quite pleased when he looked out and saw the large drops of rain splashing in the pond. "I'll get some worms and go fishing and catch a dish of minnows for my dinner," said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. "If I catch more than 5 fish, I will invite my friends, Mr. Edmund Potomy Tortoise and Sir Isaac Newton. The Underman, however, is silent." Mr. Jeremy put on the monkey toes and a pair of shiny glasses, took his rod and basket, and set off his enormous tub to the place where he kept his boat. The boat was round and green, and very like other lily leaves. It was tied to the water plant in the middle of the pond. Mr. Jeremy took a red pole and pushed the boat out into open water. "I know a good place for minnows," said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Mr. Jeremy stuck his pole into the mud and fastened the boat to it. Then he settled himself across the langurs and arranged his fishing tackle. He had the dirtiest little red float. His rod was a dot stalk of grass. His line was a fine long white horsehair, and he tied a little wiggling word at the end. The rain trickled down his back, and for nearly an hour he stared at the float. "This is getting tiresome. I think I should like some lunch," said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He put it back again amongst the water plants and took some lunch out of his basket. "I will eat a breakfast sandwich and wait till the shoulder is over," said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. A great big water beetle came on underneath the little leaf and twinkled the toes of one of his glasses. Mr. Jeremy crossed his leg up the shoulder, out of reach, and went on eating his sandwich. Once or twice something moved about with a rustle and splashed amongst the rushes at the side of the pond. I trust that it's not a rat," said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. "I think I had better get away from here." Mr. Jeremy shoved the boat out again a little way and dropped in the bait. There was a bit almost jerkily the float gave the trembles above it. Oh no! I have I have him by the nose, cried Mr. Jeremy Fisher, jerking up his rod. But what a horrible surprise! Instead of a small fat minnow, Mr. Jeremy landed little Jack Sharp and the stinkleback covered with spins. The stinkleback floated about the boat, breaking the snapping until he was quiet and out of breath. Then he jumped back into the water, and a shoal of other little fish put their heads out and laughed at Mr. Jeremy Fisher. And while Mr. Jeremy sat disconsolately on the edge of his boat, sucking his sore lips, fingers and peering down into the water, a much worse thing happened. A really frightful thing it would have been if Mr. Jeremy had not been wearing on the munching toes. A great big enormous draught came up, with a splash, and it saved Mr. Jeremy with a snap. Oh, oh, oh! And then it turned and dived down to the bottom of the pond. But the trout was so displeasing with the taste of the munching toes that it less than half a minute in the span him out again, and the only thing it swallowed was Mr. Jeremy galoshes. Mr. Jeremy bunched out up to the surface of the water like a cork and bottled out of a soda water the bottle, and he swam with all his might to the edge of the pond. He scrambled out on the first bank he came to, and he hopped home across the middle with his munching toes all in the toaster. What the march that was not a pig, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I have lost my rod and basket, but it does not much matter. Therefore, I am sure I should never have dared to go fishing again. He put some of the sticking plasters on his finger, and his friends both came to dinner. He could not offer them fish, but he had something else in his larder. Sir Isaac Newton wore his black and gold waistcoat, and Mr. Edmund Ptolemy the tortoise brought a sailor with him in a string bag. And instead of a nice dish of minnows, they had a roasted grasshopper and a ladybug sauce, which considered a beautiful treat, but I think it must have been nasty. The end.